But first band we have is our Janna.
Yeah. All right. So somebody doesn't like enchanter supports. Maybe haven't seen any of these teams play yet, so we're not quite sure if their support's a Janna one trick or anything like that. But next band is Hui and Aatrox. So they look definitely like some maybe a little personal based on those first couple of bands there. As looking for target some of the more some mastery. Maybe that's what's going on there with those bands.
Yep, a lot of mage and a lot of casters coming out right at the start. So yeah, these teams did use a draft tool, so they are going through this very quickly. They've already made the decisions, so we're not going to see the exact choice order. Which that was, I was going to say that was going to be an interesting pick of a Caitlyn though, in the jungle. But nope, that is a more standard pick in the jungle of Nunu and Willump. And yeah, I like this Mbessa Rumble matchup. This one I actually haven't seen, but it sounds very interesting to me because of the manaless play.
Yeah, and go see an interesting mid lane matchup as well. Kennen and Ahri. Kennen may have been flexed in the pick phase early as possibly a top lane option as well, but looks like they've been running that mid lane, so that'll be interesting to see. You don't typically see Kennen mid lane. That was really throws me back to very very old League of Legends where Kennen used to be a mid laner in some cases.
Interesting that actually Darius was one of the last bans. That tells me that the last picks were up in this top lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably a little bit of pocket pick and Bessa and to target these. And let's see, we have Blitzcrank and Kai'Sa.
We have our Yuumi pick in the bot lane for Suspect Chungus.
Can't ban out every enchanter.
Yeah, ban every enchanter except the cat.
Yeah. Let's see. Blitzcrank always gets a 2-for-1 deal when he hooks someone with Yuumi on top. So yeah, it's that looks like it could be fun for the bot lane side on Arcane Animals.
And Aphelios is not very mobile.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little spooky in the bot lane. I think we'll have to see how they manage to play through that.
So that's going to be very interesting to watch. I'm excited to see this bot lane and this top lane and see how it comes out. And also just to see these new players.
Yeah. Let's see. Nunu versus Graves of the Jungle. I always like to see Nunu. Nunu has some very very obnoxious patterns as a jungler, but can really disrupt standard farming patterns. Things that Graves would really enjoys is when he gets full clear, his jungle would be really strong than one shot you. So we'll see if Brian Moser can do anything to disrupt the enemy jungle and try to keep Graves low economy and out of the game.
Yeah. The thing about Nunu, let's see, is trying to keep Graves out of the game, or is Graves trying to keep Nunu out of the game?
Because Nunu operates better on low econ, I would think. So
it's very difficult to keep Nunu out of the game. You hit Q and you're able to stay in pretty much wherever you are, even in the jungle. Usually you don't have to run very far to get a good heal, and then if you run in on a lane, if you're like chasing down Mbessa, she gets a lot of damage on Nunu and Willump. They can just tank that front part of the damage, Q a minion, get healthy again, and keep up the pressure. Graves, on the other hand, he may be a little bit more squishy, but he likes to be in your face anyway, because that's how he gets an incredible amount of damage. It is insane how much damage Graves can just blast out with that shotgun Destiny.
Yeah, the only thing we're missing from Nunu is the Kesha audio clips, as chat's mentioning. Nothing like watching Kesha cast some Nunu mechanics. Truly some of the most exciting League content out there. If you remember Nunu getting picked in pros last season, the Kesha clips are amazing. I definitely recommend someone look at that at some point. It also reminds me of a Mobile Fire guide, really old, but the Nudu guide, and the video was titled "How to Win by Losing," and it's about a Nudu player getting basically no camps, but the enemy Shaco jungle also getting no camps, and because they're both low econ, and Nudu's stronger at the low econ level, eventually, even though Shaco gets lots of kills, they win the game, even though it looks like they're losing. As it's really just. It's really just a gold
like
dip.
Just the top lane Scion play, where you can have these very different play styles and yet still be contributing to your team.
Yeah, and that's always the risk you have when you want play. You play Graves just to really take over games. It's really exciting to see him just 1v9 games when he becomes really strong. But if you don't get the gold, then you do have the problems. Like what if the enemy jungler is just useful because his champion presses a couple of abilities and they're inherently useful regardless of how much damage it deals. So we'll be getting in the game shortly here, it looks like.
Yeah, we are loading into game. We're very excited for our first round of Swiss. Let us know in chat, who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be our blue team or red team? Suspect Chungus or Arcane Animals?
Yeah, so we'll see. And we'll also be entering the Rift, new preseason, or coming from Noxus Ionia. We'll see the Spirit Blossoms float out from the Nexus.
Since the last tournament.
Yeah, all nice and pretty, not so red anymore, but we still have the feats of strength. We have the new Otacon that will come with the Thornbound Otacon, and with the new Spiritual Purification Blessing, and and we have only one set of Void Grubs. We'll see how the junglers operate around sort of the little bit less objectives than this time around as well.
All right, we are in lane, well, getting to lane at least, and yeah, let's see how people set up. Looks like a fairly standard setup for both teams here. 30 seconds until minions. And yeah, look at this beautiful little rift. In fact, I happen to be controlling the camera, so we're going to look at all the rift just because I'm going to abuse my powers here. Never mind, we're going to look at, a little bit of a cheese. Doesn't quite work out. That's not where they're hiding.
Yep, you go. Always Blitzcrank throwing out that hook early, just looking for something to get a free first blood. Not going to find it.
That's a good choice. Might as well. You do lose. You don't really lose cooldowns going into lane with that. You lose like a little bit of mana, but at the same time, like you're gonna throw hooks out. You should be throwing hooks out like that anyway to try to get that early advantage. Oh, we do have not quite an early invade. It's getting the early information there.
Yep. Both teams opening up pretty wide to try to negate any sort of invades, and Nu's going to start his bottom side Raptors, and we're seeing Graves on the top side starting his red, so we're seeing opposite side starts on the jungle, which will open up some interesting gank paths.
Okay, well, let me get this set up here.
Yeah. Yoshi going for another rocket grab, and just barely missing Jin's Opera there as Arcane Animals push their first wave in, and that's gonna be the key thing. Is like, do you get hit by a hook, and do you have flash in the bot lane? So, and it's gonna happen every 20 seconds or so, and as Arcane Animals hits level 2, another rocket comes out and misses Jin's Opera. Playing with fire there, but is all right, and it's gonna be able to pick up that wave under turret.
All right, we have. Yeah, just otherwise we do have an early invade coming in from gank coming in from Brian Mosser on Nunu Willem. Burns the flash.
Yep. Getting extremely dangerously low from Kai'Sa, and the Ignite's going to finish him off. First blood goes to Blitzcrank there. Not a sort of a abbreviated gank path for Nunu. 2 camps into a gank, but is not able to connect that, and it's going to put him pretty far behind as Graves finishes his full clear.
All right. Yep. But I'm disappointed. I actually didn't stay on the camera. The camera wigged out, and I couldn't stay on to figure out why he still kept going in so hard. even after burning the flash, because you could have just used burned the flash and walked away. But now Asan wants to get a little bit more out of this play.
Yeah, Jin's Opera is out by himself as a three damage Arcane Animals collapse on him. He's going to flash away, and he's got Graviton. He's able to hit Graves with the Biting Eclipse and put him relatively low with the combo. So he's able to get out, but now the wave's in sort of an awkward spot, and Graves is still in the city.
Surprisingly low. Just missed a little bit of a gank up in the top lane. Looking at the bot lane here, but that was surprisingly low for how healthy Jin's Opera here is on goodness, what is this champion's name?
Aphelios, yeah.
Aphelios. I was like, it's not Akshan, it's not Aurelion Sol. I just knew it was an A name. A lot of damage happening in the top lane though.
Yeah, Rumble and Best are going up, going tit for tat in the top lane, putting each other both pretty low. Brian Swift didn't have a gank top lane as well, but wasn't able to get too much out of it. Both champions very low, and no junglers here. But now Flamespear comes in with the Rumble. He's overheating. He's getting the auto attacks off, and Best is dashing with Drake Step, flashes forward on Rumble with that auto attack, then powered auto attack from the overheat, doing enough damage to finish off that kill. Really close, in the favor of Suspect Junkus.
I was about to say, just before that happened, it was like, when the next engage happens, it is going to be who uses the... Oh, however, there's a lot of damage in the...
Charm landing in the mid lane on the Kennen. He's getting dangerous low. Minions are coming in. The autos are flashing. The caster minion autos are coming in, and the kill goes to Strike. Strikey little is like, don't mess with those casters. They have hands.
Oh, anyway, on the earlier top lane engage where I was talking about whoever uses the shield last was most likely going to win, and it turned out to be true. And Bessa went in with the early shield, and all Rumble did was just wait out the shield, used his own shield to follow that up. However, it did need the flash to end up getting the kill. So without flash, I would have been wrong. In any case, very good plays coming from Arcane Animals here. Oh,
Thank you, Lockline, for Brian Moser. The biggest snowball ever comes in, goes wide. Yoshi King is on top of you here. Fearless is already dead, and no friends left in the bot lane. Yuumi goes down, not able to jump away. Strikey Law is looking for a charm there, maybe an auto attack on the mid lane as well. A pretty good value kills from the side of Arcane Animals, and they're gonna move over to the dragon here and take first Ocean Drake.
Yeah, Arcane Animals picks up another kill, picks up the first Drake of the game, and we are moving right along, looking pretty healthy. Let me get some stats for you here.
Yeah. Kaiota taking a very large trade from Strike on the mid lane there, which is just the Foxfire and the we have Public Execution on the top lane from Cheeto, landing on the couch getting dangerously low, drops the Equalizer a little too late. She was going to take a little bit of damage, but comes out with a very nice kill and the top lane as well. So Arcane Animals getting really nice leads on both their side lanes, and mid lanes up too, as you can see, as Kaiota is not able to walk up here and farm the way. Flash forward from Strikey Law, really nice combo into the over Deception. Foxfire, Electro finishes him off, and we have 3 very convincingly winning lanes on the side of Arcane Animals. Flash forward from Yoshi King there on the Jin's Opera. Hook misses again. Jin's Opera has been doing a good job of dodging most of those hooks there, but it's just one that lands, and now you have us on doing a little bit of a ward clearing on the bot lane there, and Arcane Animals are maybe looking for a little bit more. Asan's going to back instead there, and Yoshi King's going to land a hook on the Jin's Opera, and that might just spell instant death. Kaisa coming in with the damage, and now Yuumi's all by herself, running under the safety of turret. The passive from Kaisa is the final auto executes, and another 2 kills to the side of bot lane. That's the 3-0 Kaisa and a 2-0 Blitzcrank. Lots of gold on the bot lane, and they're building a large bounty as well.
Yeah, that was the danger we talked about in pick bans with the Blitzcrank versus a Yuumi, was that if you get picked, you're probably just going to die. And that's a lot of work for an ADC, a lot of mental load for the ADC to be thinking about at all times, because you're the only target, so there's only one pattern for Blitzcrank to try to pick from, and yeah, that's gonna be 8-1 so far for the side of Arcane Animals, all told. We have a fight around the Void Grubs. Never mind.
Yeah.
Nunu decides, I don't want that smoke.
Yeah, Suspect Chungus is not quite in position to fight for the Void Grubs. They're going to go ahead and make the right decision here to move away from that. Cheeto, Hassan's there. Yoshi King is rotated up from the bot lane, and on the side of Suspect Chungus, you still have two members bot lane, so there's a numbers advantage there. Hassan's going to pick up the 3 Void Grubs for free. Also want to point out here that Strikey has already upgraded his from Dark Seal to Magi's. That's a full item technically, and
a full item with 4 stacks.
Yeah, and so that's a decent amount of AP so far, and if you see Strikey pick up like a couple assists or a kill, that's gonna make him extremely strong. Now we see Hassan looking here, and Cheeto looking for a dive. Public Execution lands on the couch. Couch drops the equalizer, try to clear the wave. It's not enough. Hassan takes a lot of damage, but Brian Moser's here. But versus Cheeto, maybe it's a little too strong. Mbessa's a level up. Got some gold. Brian Moser's a little bit behind. Doesn't really have any items, and you're gonna have to disengage that one.
That's a healthy Mbessa with a level 6 power spike, so she's got that healing. Good call not to chase it down, clearing the wave a little bit.
Yeah, Kyoto and Strikey though doing a little bit of trading in the mid lane. Kyoto really trying to pick up the CS on the turret. Strikey will just Arcane Rush with the wall. The Graves ulti comes over the wall too, doing lots of damage. Brian Moser is getting cut out there. Really surprised. Looks like another hook landed the bot lane from Yoshi King, and again, Ibonaut picking up more kills in the bot lane, and they're going to be able to translate that into a lot of turret damage as they just got the Void Grubs and the lane's completely open. There's no one here to defend this turret.
Yeah. Arcane Animals getting another kill. Very solid. And especially another 2 kills in the bot lane, because that Blitzcrank pick was against this Yuumi was very fortuitous on Arcane Animal side. Loving the strategy that we're seeing that just came as early as the pick bans, and it is paying in dividends for them.
Yeah, and now you see 4 plates on the side of the bot lane. Charm lands on Kyoto as well with the Orb of Deception. Lecture procs, and he's got about 300 health remaining, and that's versus an Ahri with now 8 Magi stacks, and so the risk of putting her over 10 stacks, getting bonus movement speed, even more AP, it becomes a nightmare to deal with. Cheeto and Gauss are trading in the top lane as well. Cheeto seems to come out a little bit ahead and is able to block a lot of damage from the Flame Spirit with the Redeate. Yoshi King flash from the wall.
Oh my goodness!
Arcane was a spot out Brian Moser, and Kaisa with the ultimate's really able to follow up with that relentless pursuit, and not relentless.
I thought that was a little bit aggressive, but I'm like, well, he's all alone, and then all of a sudden he's just dead instantly.
Yeah, Kaisa, by the way, full item here, fighting Aphelios and the Yuumi. Flash forward from Yoshi King, and another Graves ultimate that's pretty low cooldown ability, just taking out a free kill. Now just Yuumi under turret recalling, but Yoshi King's looking for the dive with Rocket Punch knock up, and Kaisa just deals so much damage that Yoshi King only has to take 1 turret shot, and that means with the Void Grubs and this huge minion wave, that's going to be a turret down in the bot lane. But first turret just went down to mid lane. Strike just picked that up, and by the way, also picked up an assist there. 10 Magi stacks. He's got bonus movement speed now, and that's Oh, actually, did they? Yeah, it is 10. They didn't remove that. That's good.
10% movement speed at that 10 stacks, and that is another 50 AP just from that item. Strike is looking healthy. Very good flash by Brian Moser to get out of that.
Yeah. Arcane Animals really pressing their advantage, poaching the bot side jungle and taking all the resources for themselves and away from Arcane Animals. You see Brian Moser forced to move to the top lane, but Cheeto is there. Strike getting a charm on the Coyote again. Well, Spirit Rush is able to pick up another kill and actually an assist. So less Magi stacks, but it's already very out of control. You see Brian Moser just farming his wolves. Hasn't been spotted out.
That charm to catch Kennen. That's got to feel bad. But yeah, you mentioned that Arcane Animals is choking him out. Brian Moser just dies.
Yeah, he's surrounded by Arcane Animals there as they took his bot side jungle, they went mid, they got a kill, they moved to the top side jungle. They were just kind of looking around for some stuff, and they found Brian Moser there and said another free kill, another assist for the Ahri. And now we have Couch trying to clear the wave. He's doing a good job trying to keep this wave out of turret. And so the Yoshi King flash over the wall. Rock grab on the Couch. He gets very low. Drops the equalizer onto Yoshi. He's going to take the turret shot. And Yoshi King's actually going to go down. So 1-for-1. Nicely played from Couch. Getting that kill back, at least. And Blitzcrank did have a shutdown. So that's some extra gold in the pocket.
Yeah, very solid play. Very solid play from the top lane. Just pretty much played as well as he could have. He got dove by 3 people. In fact, Rumble is looking like the healthiest.
Ramos just got spot out, tries to snowball away, but Kai'Sa does so much damage. 2 items already at this time. Infinity Edge and the Yuntal Wild Airs attacks very quickly. Has a huge amount of AD, just a couple crits, and Brian Moser is deleted, and it's really hard. It's really hard to play for the side of Suspect Jungle. So you gotta wonder, is like, can Big Rumble really change the course of this game?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can. If he can try to keep them in for a little bit, there is a chance. But Arcane Animals is way far ahead right now. More than 14k gold already.
Strike getting another beautiful Spirit Rush and Charm gets Kai'Sa really low with a couple of abilities, and again, so much damage there. Now he's looking for a Rock Red to land onto Jin's Opera, and Strike to go and pick up a double kill. Yumi's going to try to escape through a Nunu, but Kai'Sa's going to connect with her Prey Seeker, and is able to follow up that triple kill. Goes over to
and there's another pick by Yoshi King.
And Yoshi King with a beautiful ward right there in the enemy base. They're moving their vision line up, and they're able to fight with clear knowledge inside our Suspect Chungus's jungle. And now they control that, and they're able to push in. They're grabbing those tier 2 turrets, getting a bunch of gold for those into the base. Strike flash over the wall. Character getting a very nice ult, and following up Moonlight Vigil at Ivana, so 1 HP. Yoshi King's running out as well. It's wow. That could have been the massive shutdown for the side of Suspect Chungus, but they just don't have the damage. It was the slicing Maelstrom was almost good enough to pick that off with the Fierce's Moonlight Vigil, but there's just not enough gold there. There's just not enough damage coming out. Brian Moser looking for the 2v1 on Couch, but Cheetah's more than happy to take that. Couch is dropping the equalizer and does a lot of damage. Flame Spirit's coming out. He's going to overheat soon, but Cheetah's going through another rotation of his abilities, and with Best dashing around all over the place. Couch is overheated, and public execution comes down from Cheetah. Repudiate blocks all that turret damage, flashes away from the turret range as well, and is able to step back. Now Cheetah's in the base there, kind of near a Hex Gate maybe. It's going to be a little awkward. The Hex Drinker procs there, and goes back in for another rotation to Jin's Opera. Tries to take the Hex Gate out, but damage does cancel taking the Hex Gate, and it's going to be killed.
So much action happening all over the place. Also, just going to solo Brian Moser. There's another turret going down in the mid lane.
Yeah. And Kai'Sa might take this too if she's got her ultimate up. Yoshi King's looking to help with the dive, activates the silence, and takes a couple turn shots. So Ibonat to come in and clean up. Suspect Chungus cannot hold these. They're too weak. Flash forward from Yoshi King with a power fist and the rock grab. Couch is gonna flash away.
So much has been happening. I've been waiting for 2 minutes so far to say that Strike has had a 25 stack Magi's at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The blue inhibitor goes down at 17:11. This is looking like just a cleanup for Arcane Animals already. They are marching in. They're going to take another inhibitor. Well, another inhib turret, then the inhibitor. There's nothing.
Top turret. Yeah. It's just you're seeing Arcane Animals. They're looking for the end. They're looking for get it done quickly and efficiently, and they're clearing out every lane. Suspect Chungus feels too weak to even fight for this. They're gonna have. Are they looking for a miracle ult combo here? Can they resist this? Equalizer comes out, clears the bot wave. Mid lane's coming as well. Kai'Sa's ulted forward, landing on the Ivana. It's getting very low. Heal activated though, and just not quite enough damage even with those two big ultis. And now Arcane Animals are gonna clean out Spirit Rush from Strike, is going into Charm, landing on Jin's Opera right on the base there. And it's just one lone Yuumi versus the world, and Can he even leave his fountain? Is the question. Strikes still zoning it off.
First
so. Nexus turret comes down. Second Nexus turret is going down also on Graves. Does tons of damage to those Nexus. They're looking for that last kill, Arcane Animals. Maybe Rocket Red comes out, Power Fist, but the Nexus goes down first, and a really clean game for Arcane Animals, and hopefully we'll see a Suspect Jungle, see if they can pull it together in the later Swiss rounds.